Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right, show number 165. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show, show number 165. I can't believe we've been doing this for 165 shows. 165, otherwise known as one Bart Oates or one Ron Stone. Ron Venditti just drove off the road.
Ron Stone, I remember.
There you go, Ron Stone. Also, one Nestor Cortez, or the guy couldn't stand when he pitched, one Phil Hughes.
I loved Phil Hughes. How do you know Phil Hughes?
He got rocked. Anyway, I couldn't stand him. He had fastball flat, he got belted. Anyway, show number 165. Jimmy's already, this is the aggravated show here. We're going to get into details about this horrific weekend as we move forward. But behind the glass, your friend and mine from the media capital of the world in Manalapan, New Jersey. I love saying that. From Matawan in the downtown wonderful studios of Chop Sports Media, the capital of everything. Your friend and mine with a new Yankee hat, Dave Sturcio. How are we doing today?
Yeah, I had to double down on the Yankee hat. I've been wearing the other Yankee hat for the last 4 losses in a row for New York sports. I had to do something. I had to switch my socks or something. Yeah, I'm not I'm not like that kind of guy, but like something's got to give, man. So I'm miserable.
I realize that I have a shitty hat selection now because I wear the 706 hat. I occasionally wear the Yankee hat. I wear my dad's hat. But I realize, you know what? It's been such a bad week. What hat can I go to really just get it all back? And I wore my LT jersey last week. I was in a shitty mood. And I decided to go in with the greatest single hat of all time, which was purchased 5 days before the Super Bowl, the infamous 18-1 hat, New York Giants. And I put it on after they won because they went down in the last second. And I wore this hat for a while after the Super Bowl. People are like, oh, what a great hat. Where can I get those? I don't know. Go down to the lady inside the mall and make it happen. But yes, so we're wearing Yankee hat. We all feel good hats, even though Yankees haven't made the World Series since the Carter administration. But of course, show number 165. I can't believe we're doing it that long. And we got our baseball card. I have a classic. Before we do this, quick shout out to, of course, Dying Breed Garage. And of course, Tyson Hogan, which is always fun. They're always popping in. Dying Breed Garage is from, I love calling him Dying Breed Garage. He gets mad. That's not his name. But you know what? When you have a stupid moniker like that, that's what people call you. I once knew a tough guy. He used to hang out in Leggett's and DJs. And it's like his email was like, yeah, email me at fluffyturtle. What Fluffy Turtle? What are you talking about? You look like you could crush beer cans with your pecs, and your email is Fluffy Turtles. Anyway, welcome all my fine fans here at Shea. My guy here on my baseball card thing is a classic shitty guy. You won't remember him. I do remember him, but you know, he's Neil Allen. I remember him, Neil Allen. Now, Neil Allen, listen, 11 years in the league. He made big money at one point, but he's famous for something huge, which you will know this thing. Listen, his record was 58-70, ERA at 3.88. So he'd be making about $16 million a year. 59 starts, 75 saves, generic stats here. Played with the Mets for 5 years, the Yankees for 3, also St. Louis, the White Sox, and of course, back then, everybody ended your season in Cleveland. That's where you went to die. Kyle Kerm's jumping in here. Neil Allen was on steroids. No way. He probably missed that era, but he batted 130 lifetime. But when he's
not on steroids.
Okay, what he's most famous for, he was involved in a trade that brought a key component to the New York Metropolitans. That little old first baseman, Keith Hernandez, he was in the trade for him with some guy named Homby. And then the Yanks traded him for one of my favorite shitty Yankees of all time. The poster boy for shitty Yankees, no doubt about it. Ron Babe Hasse. Okay, now his name was Ron Hasse. He was a catcher, and he hit like 4 home runs in the first 5 games. And they started to call him Ron Babe Hasse. I don't think he got a hit. He didn't get a hit after that. So that's only funny to me and Venditti. But in '87, he made $1.25 million. It was a lot of money back then. So he was a decent reliever. Then he got involved with coaching the Blue Jays and the Yankees. He was a pitching coach at Staten Island Yankees. He was at Columbus. He taught Chin Man Wang the sinker ball, which is what made him really good. Also, what got him out of the league because the sinker ball didn't sink, and that'll do it here.
I think he actually his career ended out. He was trying to run the first, right? Didn't he do something running the first?
Yeah, he hit it. Yeah, on a first to third or something like that. Awful. But he ended up with the Twins, got a DWI, and that'll do it here. But he was in. Hey, look. Probably got pissed off with his wife, went to the bar. Honey, I've been in baseball for 40 years, and that'll do it. Anyway, but the funny thing is, this guy was in baseball for 41 years, which I always love. These nobodies are in baseball for that long. It's pretty cool. So that's it. He retired in 2017, and now he just plays golf. So that's my guy, Neil Allen, famous for being involved in the trade to get a key linchpin, the first linchpin, Keith Hernandez, to the Metropolitans. Who do you got there?
Well, I have a digital card because I was too lazy to go up to my attic, and I got a card. Listen, it's a good card because we're going to talk about this a lot. It looks like a young, spry, well-haired Chicago Bulls head coach, Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, a young Tibbs, yes,
autographed card, by the way.
Well,
yeah. Listen, so there's a lot of heat on him right now, man.
Yes,
and it's
there is, and we're gonna get to that in 5 seconds. So Tibbs is your card. He looked young and he looked thinner then too, the fat bastard. But by the way, he looked like he was an Adonis last week. You lose 2 in a row, you're a fat fuck. But which brings me to Patreon. We are still mired at 41. We are not. I can't believe there's no Mariano Rivera fan out there. It aggravates my soul. I have to get to like 56. If I don't get a Lawrence Taylor, I'll be pissed. Of course, Stephen Diddy was 41. We need a 42. But a quick shout out to my nephew Bobby and all my nephews, Tommy, Bobby, and Eric, and
all 40
Jimmy
other
and John Henry, all the Palumbo
members that are
also a shout out to Kyle Kearns, who rumor has it, Kyle is predicting some of the race information for the 5K. Now I've been struggling finding no 5K has been able to handle my entourage. No. And my needs, which are a golf cart and
vodka.
Right now, the spread is just listed anywhere between 31 and 60. And we have not gotten Kyle's official spread on that. We will be getting to that. It looks like I may be running. It's a possibility I may run one this weekend under the radar. Not sure yet. But shout out to all my Patreons, Rob Pastor, Cap Sig, and James Kanowitz. And of course, number 1, Alex Stetsena, who's number 1 Patreon. All right. Chasing miracles here from the Omni. Stem cell patches. I got them on now. My mother's got them. My mother's got a bad hip now. My mother's got patches. She looks like, Kyle said Jimmy Palumbo to test positive for PEDs, disqualifying from the race. No, I still have an exemption for that. But check out these Chasing Miracles stem cell patches at chasingmiracles.com. Everything, all kinds of shit your body needs. This stuff works. All the athletes are using them. You've seen them in the Olympics. Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, everybody. My mother uses them. She's got them all over her body. Her friend uses them. They work for me. I don't feel as stiff and sore that I usually do when I have these things on. So go to chasingmiracles.com. Talk to Tommy and Donna. These people are cool. Trust me on this. All you got to do is talk to them, and they're good people, and they're kind and nice and all that.
Can they loan some of these stem cell patches to the Knicks who are hobbled?
But before we get to the atrocities over the weekend, I do want to give a shout out to a guy named Jim Agnello. That's right. Jim Agnello works for Skechers. I made him in an airport. I told him I play pickleball, and he says, I got your back. I'll send you some stuff. But everybody says that. I'll send you some stuff. Matter of fact, I think I owe Patreon people some beer league shit that I didn't send out.
Yeah, you do.
Troy Chabaro, I got you, bro. Don't worry. I'll get it to you. But he sent me some awesome stuff. Number 1, this is like the brand new Skechers sneaker. I feel like I'm on QVC right now. These things are nice. It's got the new heel in the back and all that stuff. He also sent me the golf shoes at Shea. Look at these things.
Yeah, could you golf?
Well, I got to go golfing once, June 14th. So, and I also do, I'm a horrible golfer. And also, this is what Kyle was waiting for. Now, Kyle said he's not going to give the odds on my 5K until he sees what gear I'm wearing, because he feels that could be a huge difference. It could be like a 58 minutes, but with the proper Skechers gear, the new running shoes from Skechers getting involved with the Goodyear rubber here at Shea. They are not a sponsor of my show, but they're right here. These are them. This is going to be the difference, Kyle. Right now, FanDuel is going nuts. They're shutting down. Will Jimmy Palumbo actually, where will he finish between 31 minutes and 60 minutes?
I think the new prop bet should just be, will he ever run a fucking 5K?
Well, there are a lot of people betting that as well. But I will run that. I'm concerned about my foot, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a jackass. All right. That's enough. Jim Agnello, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And he's also sending us some hats. I'll make sure you get some stuff, Dave. I always got your back.
Hey.
Okay, this weekend, fine sports weekend, wasn't it, Dave? I feel like this is one of those weekends where the Packers, Giants, and Cowboys all lost by 25. The Knicks lost a tough game 3, and then Sunday, Mother's Day. I'm sitting there with my brother. We never get to watch games together. And from the opening, tip, I was like, uh-oh, they're moving faster than we are. We look like, to me, it looked like the way Chris Gucci plays center field. That's how slow it was. And it was just Gucci taking a beating here. Plus 135, Kyle Curbs. But no, it's wow, that was tough. But you know what? I'm going to say something that I would hate if you said what I'm about to say, I would attack you.
Are you gonna pull a Pat Volckermer or something like that? Or?
No. You know what? No, it's just when it was Mother's Day, we were getting beat so bad it actually became like, wow, they're down by 40. Like, in other words, it got to the point where I got up, I started having some gabagool, salami. I was running, the game was on in the background. I was able to spend time with my family, and then all of a sudden, some of the Knicks were in the game. That my brother said, Jimmy, you got to sit down and watch this. Who are these guys? These guys, because Thibodeau. I no one noticed, but I actually played 2 minutes at the end. I don't know if anybody saw me there. I hit a quick 3, nobody watched. But they were emptying the bench. I know our buddy Pat Volckermer posted some things, but it did look funny how bad the bench. They looked like it was first day of practice. These guys don't play. They don't play during the regular season. They don't play much. Thibodeau goes with his starting 5. Whether you like that or not, that's the way he does it. He's been doing that for a long time. But the Knicks are down, Mitchell Robinson and OG, look, they're 26-5, I think, with him. He's a major player. He's out. The Knicks just look shorthanded, Bogdanovich, but these are major players, and they just look winded. Tough place to play, Indiana. But you know what? The thing I don't get is this O'Connell guy.
Oh,
he's guarding Brunson. All of a sudden, he's a shutdown guard. I'm like, Brunson's been scoring 35 points a game since January 1st. Okay. Now this guy is going to be the guy who shuts him down. I wish I knew more about the NBA in terms of the different guards that have guarded Jalen Brunson, but I'm sure someone was better than this guy. But what I do love about that jerk off on Indiana is he only plays like 8. I love a guy. He's an 18-minute guy, but man, let me tell you something. He's running a 40-yard dash for 18 minutes. He's a pesky pain in the. I hate guys. We never have guys like that. The other team does. He's like Edelman or the shitty Patriot wide receivers. I can't stand him.
That was Jimmy. That was Jimmy's light way of saying he's that pesky white guy that just keeps.
No, he's in your. I wish we never have guys like that. We just
we never have a white guy in the Knicks.
Yeah, it was.
Haven't happened since Steve Novak. I don't know.
Oh, Chris Dudley. In and out.
Yeah, oh wow.
But no, you know what though. Tonight's going to be an exciting game. I can't wait.
Tonight is absolutely must win. Must win. If they don't win tonight, series is over. Next game. It's one thing to play on the road. I get it. But when you're shorthanded on the road, the only thing I think that works to their advantage after tonight is the fact that Jimmy will love this. There's an extra day's rest, right? Because why not? It's the NBA.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Game 6 isn't like June 8th. Really, at this point.
So they play tonight, and then they don't play again until Friday. if they can win tonight and get that rest and possibly get OG back for game 6,
right?
Like then you got a chance to win in Indiana. But if you don't, then at least you get that game 7 back in New York, and things work in your favor. You cannot go down 3-2 to a team
what'll happen is
starving for a win.
What'll happen is if the Knicks win tonight, everybody's like, okay, Pacers win at home, game 7. However, if you get to like the 8:05 mark in the fourth quarter and you're only up 93-91, everybody's asshole gets tight because it's like, oh shit, we're supposed to win this game. So I don't know how the Knicks. There's part of me that thinks they're going to get blown out again tonight. Then there's part of me thinks they're going to play tough. I don't know.
Last game, I don't know the spread. If Kyle's still here, he can probably chime in on the spread. But it's like one of those things where it's like, I know they're back in New York. Home cooking has been good for us. I think they lost one game. The
Knicks were getting 7 though, right? Sunday they were getting 7.
7. I don't know about that. Like I mean,
at least 5. I thought the Knicks were getting points.
Well, the home team was always going to get something in the NBA. In the NFL, it's usually like
7.
2 or 3. But like to go into a game like this, man, I don't care if you're home dogs. You just have to, like, Brunson has to be the grittiest Brunson of all time. You need all the shots to fall for DiVincenzo, for the brand, for the culture. You need all this shit to go your way because you don't have the depth. You need to get up. And like that's the thing with the Knicks. They've been down double digits every single game this series. Every single game. It's just a matter of getting our shots to fall, and they're just not falling.
I almost ignored my rule of not bother. I don't bother Dave during a sporting event that he has a vested interest in, but I almost did. I'm here.
Would have made sense. It would have made sense. Actually, I did the same thing you did, Jimmy. Like it was, I saw a great tweet. I forget who it was. It was one of the New York personalities, and he goes, "This is a great chance for all you dads out there to just get up and pretend as if, like, you know what, honey, the Knicks, they're not worth as much as you. Let me go do this for you." And they have no idea that the Knicks are down 33 with 4 minutes to go, right? And just like, here's your moment to shine, dads. This is your moment. And
my nephew,
I did some laundry.
So, my nephew, when they were down like 33, one of the guys on the Knicks hit a 3-pointer. My nephew was like, okay, there you go. I said, no. I said, this team scores 140 points a game. They're up by 30.
The worst part was like when they did, like when it was one point, I think it was the early fourth, and the Knicks did hit a 3, and they're still down by 30. But the Pacers coach was like, "Oh, hold on, time out." Like, what? Like, dude, let the game play. They should have a running clock rule in the NBA at this point.
Yes,
30 plus.
Should be like soccer. Should be soccer rules.
Clock. No penalties, nothing, no fouls, nothing. Just go.
Well, in the other murder trial this weekend, New York Rangers. Now, here's what scares me. Obviously, everyone knows I have vast knowledge of NHL hockey, but I will tell you this one stat: in all the leagues, being down 3-0, that don't mean shit in the NHL. There's been tons of teams who have come back.
I think it's 98% in the last like 100 years that has a team come back and win the series down 3-0.
But in other sports, it's like 99.9%.
Right. Yesterday, things fell apart so fast. It's like the first 2 periods are like, okay, they're skating well, things are good, and it's almost as if they like mailed it in and said like, we got this, guys. Igor's playing on his head again. We're doing great. Next thing you know, you look up, it's 3-1, like within a blink of an eye. And then that empty netter was like, that was the hole in the wall moment for me. I was just like, this is going down.
I am so glad I don't watch regular season hockey. I'm a Ranger fan, but I admit it, I'm a playoff fan. But the randomness of an NHL game, it's almost like every play there's a block punt or an onside kick. That's what hockey is, a block punt, onside kick.
It's a block shot. As soon as there's a block shot, you can go the other way in a half a second.
And by the way, the first only Ranger goal, I would have made that save. That was a terrible save. I think it was just right in front of him. He said, "You gotta have that." It was terrible. Anyway, listen, Rangers 3-2. You gotta get one.
They also have another extra day's rest. They're not back on the ice till Thursday. So
right. So they'll be. We'll see.
They at least deserve it.
Right. So what is it? So the Knicks play Tuesday, Thursday.
No, Knicks play Tuesday, Friday.
Friday.
The Rangers play. I'm sorry, Wednesday, Friday. No, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. The Rangers are back tomorrow. My fault. No. You know what? I purposely did this. I have Tom from 624 Productions coming in to record a bunch of podcasts tomorrow night because I knew that was my only gap day that I was able to be.
So the Rangers and Knicks play at the same time then?
No, I told you the Knicks get a extra day off after tonight.
So Tuesday, Friday, and then Sunday though, final, right?
Yeah. There's a chance that both game 7s are on Sunday.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That's
God.
a disaster. Anyway, the Yankees rolling along 7-3 the last 10 games. Why do I feel like,
because this is the problem with the Yankees? It's like,
baseball,
this is great. The start is awesome. They're down their ace. Somehow, some way, they're still winning ball games. But you're like, okay, it's also May 14th. You know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, there's your thumbs up. May 14th. And you're like, okay, well, there's still 9 months to play in the fucking season. So don't worry about it. Like, everything can come either crashing down or they can go on another run. But it's like the New York mojo right now is definitely down. And it's like, it's hard to get excited about a win in May.
Plus, I'm watching this, basketball and NHL. I just don't have I don't have the mental energy to watch the Yankees right now, although I do still watch them, I guess. The Mets, of course, they suck too. They're 9 games out already.
Yeah, they blew a save last night. They were up 2 runs in the 9th, and
I was telling everybody. I said
Tommy Trumpets went out there and blew a save.
Okay, but timeout. You heard again. Jimmy Palumbo my big predictions were that Britney Spears will be worth $8 5 years from now. That Diaz, who became all of a sudden Mariano Rivera, that'll turn to shit. And the other one is our boy Clay Holmes was like the best reliever ever statistically. Wait till August comes. Those hot days at White Sox, a day game in Chicago. You get drilled. He sucks. I'm telling you, he sucks. Anyway.
Yeah, that 0.00 ERA is awful.
You'll see. Well, he throws a sinker. If it doesn't sink, it's like Corona softball. Lindor batting 209. Another guy I've been talking about this. I think this guy flies under the radar. He makes big money. It's May now, mid-May. He's batting 209. I know, at the end of the year, you'll see he'll be at the end of the year, he'll have stats for a guy making $11 million a year. Not this crazy. I think he stinks. Another guy. You know what? I'm in one of those moods like, if we had Michael Jordan on my show, I'd be like, here comes Michael Jordan on the Jimmy Palumbo Show. You stunk, dude. I'm tired of you. You weren't that good with the Wizards.
Quitter, huh? Quitter.
Well, your dad gets
it. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
I was just, you know what I was just going to say? Oh, your dad gets shot on the open road. Now you got to go play baseball? How wrong is that?
And stink at that nonetheless.
You stunk at baseball. Your dad's not a good driver.
Or a good gambler.
Oh, but that's wrong. That is, please, I'm only kidding around. That is an awful thing.
See, that's clippable content, Jimmy.
Well, then put it on. I don't know. I hate Jordan too. Anyway, there's only one thing left to do when your teams suck. What is that, Dave?
And that's go play cornhole.
That's right, Dave. Hey, Dave, let me ask you something. Your wife called me. Everything okay with your cornhole?
No, actually, it's as tight as it's ever been.
Okay, well, listen.
It needs a firm adjusting. And the only way to find out if the adjusting worked is to go to cornhole level on it.
That's right. So, listen, all you Knick and Ranger fans, these things are flying off the shelves. I do not know if they can get them in time. Maybe Amazon will get them there here by 7 o'clock this week. The extra day can help you Ranger fans. You got to go to cornholelevel.com. It will straighten out your cornhole board. That's right. Right here, as you can see it, Shay. Now this here, Dave, is how it works. You just shove this thing right in your hole, okay? Hope the Knicks have 2 timeouts left, and you just move this board and get the hole right where you want it to be. Brunson for 3. He's got it, and that's it. If it starts swinging around, no good. But go to cornholelevel.com. We're just kidding. These things are $19.95. It totally makes your cornhole thing exactly where you want it to be. Mike Caprio, my second baseman, mentioned the JP Show on the promo code, JP Show, and get 20% off your entire order. They also got different NCAA and pro teams and all that. Which brings us to, what does it bring us to, Dave? It
brings credits, of course.
My credits.
So, all right. So I have to know. Now, this is, again, when you're in the biz, as you usually say it, I'm in the biz, right? Like you're in the biz and you by this time in your career, you're already kind of like, you're established. You've done some cool shit along the way. But like when you say like when I need to know the process or your thought process going into a trilogy, because there's Taken 2, and then there's Jimmy Palumbo's Taken 3. How does that
first
work?
First of all, the first Taken movie was great. I just, I saw it. I didn't audition for it. Now, here's the cool thing. When I was working on The Family with Luc Besson, who wrote and produced all the Taken movies, we were in France. I watched Taken 3 in his private theater on his property, which is a 13th century Victorian. It was actually a Nazi headquarters during because they're only 45 minutes from Normandy. This house was awesome. He has this whole theater. They have studios there. It's like this oasis outside of Paris, hour and a half, something like that. So when it was a Friday night, we were on the set, and Thursday or Friday, I forget what it was.
So you got the family because of Taken 3?
Yes. What happened was, we're on the set, and Luke's wife said to me, "Yeah, Luke's nervous because Taken 2 comes out on Friday, the box in the theaters that night." And I guess it was Friday night, I guess. And they were trying to get early numbers. I'm like, the first one did so well. This will be calling people. He goes, "No, you don't understand. When the first movie does well, and then you make a second one, the producers and the director, they get, in other words, you get a little bit of a slice of the pie. When you get part 2, you get half the pie. You get a pie."
Oh, wow.
And then Taken 2 did like $7 billion at the box office. So he was like happy all weekend, blah, blah, blah. But I got to watch Taken 2 in the theater with a bunch of nobodies like Dominic Lombardozzi and Robert De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer, that jerk off Tommy Lee Jones sits next
look
to me.
Behind you, Jimmy. You dropped that name. You might want to pick it up.
You guys. So I watched it. He actually had a DVD of it on the night it got released. We watched it in his theater, which was awesome to do. We were cheering and all that stuff. Fun, dopey movie. So cut to a couple years later, I guess it was. And the director of Taken 3 was on the set, because Luke's really big on helping young directors out. And then I auditioned for it, 2014, I think. And early 2014. And I decided to do something I didn't normally do, and I should be doing it now. I sent a little email to Luke's wife, because he doesn't have email. "Hey, I'm auditioning with Taken 3. So excited. It would be really cool if I, I wrote like, drop a word in for your old boy Palumbo." You know what I mean? Next thing you know, I booked the thing. And Oliver Megaton is the director. We shot it for 4 days down in Atlanta, which was awesome. I got treated like
from the Omni.
From the Omni. It's a good link. It was awesome, man. They picked me up in like a car service. I worked only 2 days, but I got paid for like 4 or 5. They picked me up. "Jimmy, you have a per diem." The hotel was one of those like gorgeous, like one of those hotels, like probably $500 a night kind of joint. And they had like a sushi bar downstairs and a big bar. So I'm down there I'm having cocktails at the bar, acting like I'm Sinatra at the Sands. People are coming in and out. And casting director was John Papsadera. And shooting it was awesome. I mean, I met Liam Neeson early on, and in the shoot, but I met him briefly. I just said hi, and he said hi back. And then I asked the PA, I was like, "Oh, how was it working with Liam Neeson?" And this was soon after his wife died tragically. And she just looked at me, she goes, "He's got an overwhelming sadness around him." And I was like, because he was really in love with his wife. They were married a while, and she died in a ski accident, terrible. And so I was so bummed I didn't get a chance to see him, but I did work with Forrest Whitaker. Now, listen, Forrest Whitaker is a pro. He's been in the league a long time, considered a great actor. He's got the weird eye and all that. But he wasn't all that friendly to me, really.
Really?
Like, he was professional, but it wasn't like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" Like, usually you have downtime. He didn't really. Now, maybe that's his style of acting. I don't know what his method is, but we were supposed to be on the same team in the storyline. So why would he be that way? I don't know. But he wasn't. He was, he wasn't not friendly. He just wasn't like friendly.
Wasn't warm. Wasn't warm.
Yeah, it wasn't warm. So then we get into a scene where he's got to talk to these 4 detectives. We got to find this Liam Neeson character. And people started to improv a little bit because they were playing like jerky cops. I don't know what came over me. I just was one of those moods like, you know what? I'm going to light this room up. I started to improv. He would never look at me. He was addressing the other actors, really. And I had to have a box of donuts in front of me. That was my character, eating donuts, which was right up my alley. Finer donuts in the League of Donuts. But then I started to improv some one-liners. And all of a sudden, he was like, he did the rest of the scene. It was only to me. Like, it went
now, when you're doing that, like, you're a seasoned vet, right? You're in there. You have a small role, but like, is there any repercussions if somebody really like, are you wasting anybody's time if it doesn't land?
No, you wait. Okay. By the way, I'm by no means a star at all. It's a good question. You got to wait. Say the line is, "Oh, Dave, go fuck yourself." You got to wait. After you say yourself, you got to wait a second because they can cut it. Yes. So if you say, "Hey, Dave, go fuck yourself, asshole," right? The asshole's the improv. If you rush that between those two lines, it doesn't work. But if you go,
I think I saw you do that with Beer League, to be honest with you.
You say,
there's a couple times where you like shout out.
You wait. It's like, "Hey, Dave, go fuck yourself, asshole." And then you got time to get rid of it. I did that. I don't know what I said. I was just doing cop material. Like, I don't even remember what my improvs were. Next thing you know, everybody started to improv, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And but it was fun to do. But then I had to walk in the hallway with him up and down. Now my scenes got edited out the wazoo in terms of we shot stuff, but in the movie they keep on cutting back and forth to the good guys and bad guys, and I'm on the good guy side, trying to, But then we shot the scenes with me eating the donuts. And they really shot a bunch of scenes. Matter of fact, actually, I got a spit bucket because, I could eat donuts. That's been well established. But after a while, it's like, hey, I don't feel so good. I'm eating donuts. I'm eating donuts. And then, of course, the poor lady bringing me the donuts, she had to get like 8 cartons of them. And so after a while,
like take 24. And you're like crumbs at your mouth.
And then at one point, the prop girl was like, "Hey, Jimmy, can you just slow down on the donuts? I'm running out of them." I was like, "I'm so glad you said that." I was like, I gained 9 pounds. I was getting paid out the wazoo. So we ended up shooting it, and they, blah, blah, blah. So everything went well. The other cops were really nice. One guy, Don Harvey, you've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Another guy, Dylan Bruno, he was in Numbers. Really cool guys. We did a lot of bullshitting. And us in the green room, we hung out, we talked. I actually was learning a lot. They were younger than me. Don Harvey, of course, is maybe a little older, but he's been in more stuff. The younger kid, Dylan, he still had the good looking guy thing going on. So we were talking about agents and auditions. I love that shit. And we weren't bragging. We were just learning, like, is that what you do? Where do you live? Right. How do you make it work? So I talk about pensions and SAG health benefits. I love all that shit. But it was pretty good. It went well. I got overpaid at 4 or 5 days pay and some overtime.
How'd the third one do in the box office?
Not so good. It only did $326 million worldwide. You got to remember, it only did 90 million here, but you got to remember, it probably is the worst of the three. Because the first,
he's like he's on the run this time, right? Because they think he murdered his own wife and shit.
Right. Yeah. But worldwide,
brutal, huh? What a script right after your wife dies.
I don't know how that must have been tough for him. I don't think they're going to do a 4.
He's typecasted though, right? Like you can't. I don't think a Liam Neeson.
He did one on anything else. He did one on a plane or on a train or something.
Yeah, it's like every single movie he's ever done, it's like the same shit. Like, I'm coming to find you. And it's like, oh, okay, here he comes.
I just love his some comedians imitate him on stage. It's really funny. He's got such a cool voice. That scene in Taken 1 when he gets on that, I have a unique set of skills. That to me is one of the top 5 scenes in
my brother to this day, whenever he's looking for his wife. Like if she's like moseying around the house or whatever, he's like, he always is like, "Where is my wife?" He does it just like him for that reason.
That's great. But here's a funny tidbit about Taken 3. It incorporates assholeness on my part, which is awesome. So remember back in the day, they used to do, when a big movie's coming out on Friday, they do midnight screenings Thursday night.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't know if they still do that anymore.
They do that for like the Star Wars movies, I think. Exactly. Like shit like that.
I remember Luc Besson in Taken movies was famous for coming out in February, which all shitty movies come out in February. But Taken 1 and Taken 2 came out in February and did well. And that's when people said, hey, wait a minute. people want to go to the movies,
Ain't
before
broke.
the pandemic. Right. So I read 2 towns away, midnight screening on a Thursday night. So I called my buddy Dave. He's my asshole and partner in crime. So we had the first thing we do is it was 8 degrees out. Okay. We go to a bar, have a couple cocktails. That's asshole number 1. Then I had a bottle of scotch, and we went when we like a mini bottle. We went in, asked the lady for a cup of ice. It was a Thursday night. There was 11 people in it, maybe 12 people in the theater. Okay, she asked for a cup of ice. She goes, "Well, I got to charge you." I said, "Yeah, give me a Coke, but don't put the Coke in it." That's what I said. Clearly, so we get in. We both have Coke. We're pouring scotch, trying to look if there's any security. I'm like, "What a loser!" So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we were there early because I wanted to, in case I was in the first scene or something. I didn't know where the hell they were shoving my shit. So we're sitting there, and we're right before my buddy Dave just yells out uncharacteristically. He's like, "Hey, my buddy Jimmy sitting right here is in this movie," right? Tepid response by people. Nobody care, right? And then I was like, "What? I'm not getting any response. I am. I'm in the movie, right?" Some people that, "Oh yeah," I heard a couple like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Very like non-interested. So we're watching the movie. I'm not really in the first half hour of the movie, right?
So now everybody's full of shit.
About a half hour in, I hear a guy's voice out of left field. "Hey, I don't see shit." I go, "Me neither. If I'm not in soon, I don't think I made the cut of this movie." Then they cut to me, and I'm like, "That's me, the guy right there." And they start to clap a little bit, right? And every time they saw me, they were like, "Ah!" So at the end of the movie, everybody waited until I came out, like at the back of the seats. And after the movie, they were like shaking my hand, and
you signing autographs, kissing babies. And shit?
It was a little bit like, but it was also 2:00 in the morning on a Thursday, and I reeked of scotch. I poured it all over my pants. I had popcorn breath, scotch breath, right? So the one guy looks at me and goes, "Hey man, it's weird. I've never been to the movies where someone in the movie was in the movie theater." I said, "I know. That's why we yelled it out, So that to me was funny as hell. But here's another funny thing. My buddy Dave has to smoke, right? He goes out for a smoke in the middle of the movie after I thought he would like, he didn't care. He goes outside, and I don't see him for a little bit. Like it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So then I call him, and his phone is in his jacket. Now it was 8 degrees out. He went outside of the theater, and the doors were locked, and the girl working the counter was like in the back office. Right? I look at my phone, it says like -4, okay? And windy. So I'm like, where the hell did he go? Maybe he's talking, so who cares?
He's got hypothermia outside.
He's outside like, oh. He was frozen the rest of the night. I laughed my ass off. So that's all I remember. Me getting drunk at the theater with my buddy Dave, him freezing his ass off. But
good times.
It was cool to do. So that's my my Taken 3, and I still get residuals from it. And Luke put me in the movie Dogman, which I watched, by the way, on demand. It's a wild movie. If you're into, if you like dogs, and the dogs are, you would think the dogs are vicious in Dogman. Dogman, by the way, is a movie directed by Luc Besson. The dogs are actually the good guys in this, but they're good guys, but it's not Lassie. I'll just leave it at that. They're on the good side, but I thought it was pretty cool. My scene is so short. I'm on screen for maybe 2 seconds. I got to send it to you. Maybe next week you'll pop it on the screen. But it was so cool to do it in a movie. So I would say go check out Dogman.
Speaking of residuals, and it relates to Jimmy's credits, it was Thursday night. It was the last time any New York franchise won a playoff game. And it was after that, and I was in bed by myself, and I turn on Nickelodeon. It's a tribute to all the moms episodes of everything. And there he is. Lo and behold, the legend himself, Jimmy Palumbo, on the famous Friends episode.
Yes.
This is where Jimmy shines brightest, right on Nick at Night.
Well, as bright as that was, as you well know, you fans listening at home, I was up for a big job. I mentioned it last week.
Oh, that's right.
I was supposed to find out Tuesday afternoon, supposed to find out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No communication.
What?
They're not returning my agent's calls anymore.
So that's it.
But it also didn't get booked either. In other words, it just there's no game. I was all ready to go to Fenway, get an at bat. They're like, no, Fenway's gone. It's a parking lot now. I was like, what? Nothing.
So you're still waiting, technically. That's all.
If the Knicks lose tonight, are you waiting for a championship? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so I'm pissed off over that. And I'm still waiting to see if my Colonial Penn insurance one is still man of million cameo. Joe Sinicor getting involved here. Yes, I am the cameo's a shitty way of putting it, Joe, but I guess that's.
I was going to say it's a little bit more than a cameo.
But you know what? I'm the guy in the 8th inning, down 8-1, slaps a base hit. There you go.
And Tibbs refuses to put Palumbo in.
Palumbo at the end of the bench is not getting in. Oh, he's getting in now. They're down by 40. Palumbo
and then what we'll get a Chop Sports post from Pat Volckermer. Like, you got to put Palumbo in.
You got to put Palumbo in. He played 3 years ago. He was good. Yeah, poor Patty. I know
the guy brings it on himself,
dude,
man.
I know, but dude, on the phone the other night, my buddy Pat Volckermer posts on the Chop Sports website. Those of you who don't know, he's out of his mind, but he on the phone. He gets. I can't wait. You're going to meet him this summer. As a matter of fact, maybe at that wrestling thing, he may be in town for that.
Oh Christ!
No, but
listen. I'm booking the event because if I could book a one-on-one match with Pat Volckermer,
it would be great.
So you better get ready.
I know you. I'm telling you right now, if you meet him, you're gonna have a whole new perspective on him. You'll love him. Trust me on that. Anyway, the Knicks suck. Which that's all I gotta say. I'm pissed. You know what?
By any chance, you get a chance to watch the roast of Tom Brady?
I did. You know, I wanted to talk to you about. Yeah, I did. And okay. I got to be honest with you. I hate roasts.
Really?
I think I do.
For somebody who ball breaks as much as you do, you figure these
Nah,
would be
it's
good.
different. It's different. I think these roasts are. I don't know why in a million years. I don't know why in a $25 million years would Tom Brady do this. Like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, that's all
dude,
it's
you're
about.
Up there, dude, they're ripping on your wife. You got kids. Are you kidding me? You're Tom Brady. You're about to be a shitty announcer making another $20 million a year. And you're 35. Up there and people, and to me, unfunny written. There were some that were funny. The chick was good. What's her name?
Nikki Glaser was crushing.
Nikki Glaser. Well, how she dresses. I watched her special. To me, she's great for about 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, we're moving on. I just think it's mean-spirited. I think it's part of that. They get too mean, and also like really, it's vulgar. I don't think. You know what? I don't like roast. I will never ever do a roast unless someone said, Jimmy, we're giving you $25 million to be the comic on the roast, not to be.
Yeah, roasted. But didn't you? I mean, and this is not comparable at all. This is like apples and wrenches. But like, didn't you do like that that golf thing where you were like the heckler?
Okay, but did I say, hey?
I don't know what you said. You know, I'm asking.
Well, am I going to say, hey, buddy, what's going on? You know, I was fucking your wife an hour ago. No. I was mocking out that he had a shirt from Kohl's. I wasn't talking about, hey, I was jerking off on your golf shoes last night. Like, what? It's awful. I don't like him. And Tom Brady, like, I think, to me, like, I don't know, like a shitty quarterback should be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, not a guy.
Bledsoe was there. He was hilarious.
Okay, yeah, he was, but. Yeah, but see that, but he wasn't gross. He was just mocking out the fact. But I think the other comedians were, I don't know. And there's that awkward half smiling you have to do.
That's the only part of it that I didn't really enjoy was the fact that like when they panned to Tom and there was a couple jokes, he was just like, you know, kind of like, oh, God. But like that's what you signed up for. And the one guy, Jeff Ross, who's the roast master, said one thing about the rub and tug with Robert Kraft.
And he got
Brady
mad
got
at
out of the seat. Was like, don't you fucking say that again.
Well, I feel like they were ripping on your ex. The mother of your kids. Listen, I'm a divorced man. You don't think I can have some fun on these podcasts? Okay, I don't do it. I know, and now these guys are ripping on his wife. Oh, it's all fair game. First of all, no, it's not. His kids aren't that old. His kids aren't 35 years old working at IBM somewhere.
No, they're teenagers.
I think that's even worse. What are you doing? I just think it's
Which brings us
embarrassing.
to, when is Natalie old enough to babysit? Because my wife asked the other day. I was like, I don't know, soon, I guess.
Yeah, soon. Very well. She's 15. She probably could.
I said it's a hike for her. I was like, she's got to drive first. She got to get to 17 at least, right? Like, so she can drive past a certain hour. She's like, you don't understand. Natalie was like, she resonated with these kids faster than anybody else, and I was like, I understand that, but she's 15.
You know what'll happen? And guess who'll be coming off the bench if Natalie Jimmy Palumbo checks in. Natalie getting tired at 10:35 as the Sturchios are half in the bag at a restaurant. And
Jimmy Palumbo does his rendition of "Rockabye Baby."
Rockabye Baby here. I'll be doing all my guest hit songs with kids. Maybe we'll. You know what? I would do that with Natalie. Go down one night. That'd be a riot. Yeah, but she's not. Well, she can handle it, but 2 kids. I'm not. Maybe a year older.
Speaking of Natalie,
yes, to come down. But yes, now getting to that. Well, I wanted to mention Absolute Eyewear, of course, at Shea. Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937. They have pickleball glasses to go along with my fine pickleball sneakers. I have to go down there and pick them up.
A walking endorsement, Jimmy.
Oh, damn right. Right.
You're such a whore.
Yes. But yeah, go to Absolute Eyewear. They got everything over there. Charles Oakley is, by the way, Charles Oakley's not allowed to MSG, but he's allowed to go to Absolute Eyewear right there.
Isn't that terrible? Isn't that actually terrible now that you see like Celebrity Row and it's like the every single Nick you've ever seen in your life except Charles Oakley?
Okay, but dude, he's still suing the Knicks, so
whatever. Erroneous. Nobody gives a shit. I don't be in the building. All right.
Christ. But yes, I had a great weekend this weekend with my daughter. Now listen, my daughter, comeback player of the year. She blew out her knee in December, got surgery, and she did her first competition on Saturday and Sunday. 7 dances, dude. I tell you, and someday I hope your kids never get an injury, but you'll see if your daughter, when she in the beginning when they dance, it doesn't matter if your daughter's a little girl. If they go out of line, it's all part of the amusement.
Second recital coming up in June, Jimmy.
Yeah, okay. So I get it. I've been there. But when they get a little older and they're working hard, now it's like a sporting event. Like there's a game on now. Even though your daughter's gonna look adorable and all that stupid shit, but now all of a sudden you're like, come on, just don't fall. Just don't, all you're looking for is no Ernest Biner, no fumbles, nobody everybody just run the ball off tackle. We got the lead. We're up by 9. Just run the ball. No stupid plays, right? That's what you do.
Bill Parcells football. Just get the lead.
There you go.
On the clock.
And people are like, oh, how do you think? A couple of years ago, like, how do you think she did? I'm like, I don't know. She didn't fall. Like I have no review. It's like, to me, it's like watching a hockey game. First of all, someone said to me, don't you just love, because she's on stage with 16 girls, and someone said, don't you just love that dance? I'm like, oh no, I don't know. I don't watch anything. I am laser focused on my daughter dancing. I don't even know. It could be a bunch of dogs dancing with her. I don't see shit. I focus on my daughter. But she did the first one. I met her backstage. She came off. I gave her a hug. You did it. You're back. Just cool. Just now focus on the next dance, getting costume, all that shit. But she started to get nervous on dance number 4 on Saturday. And I'm like, Nat, I'm just on that. He just did 3 of them. But here's the word. I probably shouldn't say this on the air, but maybe I will. She had a black knee brace, right? She has to wear 2 knee braces to balance it out.
Sure.
She's been rehearsing that way for 3 weeks, right? I'll just put it that way. Someone said to her, hey, that was distracting, your knee braces. Now, I had just missed that comment, and I was like, distracting? She's got major knee surgery in December. She's back dancing. You should be hugging her, saying, welcome back. Well, these are 15-year-old kids here, right? So then we had to put gauze around the black. So then she looked like the Michelin Man. Her legs were all, I'm like, she looked like an NBA player coming off the bench of the 5'8".
That looked like that's like peak almost retired Patrick Ewing.
Yes, exactly right. And I'm like, and then the rest, we got this skin color gauze. We had to go to Walgreens to get it. I thought that made it look worse. But I'm like, she's not taking the knee braces off. Our doctor said to wear them. That's it. I don't care about the dance. But then she got nervous and she did great. So we go into Sunday now, typical Jimmy Palumbo. We got the lead now. I started immediately running off tackle. Next thing you know, we had a 21-point lead. We're up by 4 with 3 minutes to go, and we're punting. the last dance she did was like way more involved. She had to do some spins and stuff. And when you know your daughter has her knee is healed. I shouldn't say it's a bum knee. It's just not anymore. But every move, you're like, oh, her knees. I really thought, I whispered to Steph, I said, her leg's going to fly off into the audience. Like, that's the feeling you have. Like, my daughter's knee is going to break in half and fall into the orchestra pit. Like, that's exactly how you feel. And then she gets done, all well and good. But the best part was, it was Mother's Day. Nick game was on. There was awards after she danced. The awards come on. Daddy wants to talk it over, and Palumbo is limping off the stage here after Natalie's 7th dance. He will not be there for the awards. We're not sure. We're going to get a report. Pam Oliver down there. I literally just got out of town because they win. The awards are stupid in dance. Platinum, platinum plus, platinum plus, platinum. Go. It's not like first, second, third. They don't do it that way. They have all these platinum.
You don't want to discourage or offend anybody.
Right. Well, they have
platinum. Oh, really? Yeah, but she's platinum plus.
Plus, what is that? What's that? Oh. What are you talking about? What do you see? If your daughter does competition, it's different. And at the recital, all the grandmothers are there. Everybody's like, yeah. At the recitals, there's 11 people watching. And one thing I refute, the worst, I could go on this. I know we got to get off. The worst, the absolute worst, is the solo hip hop. It's unwatchable. It looks like drunk people at a wedding. It's horrific. And I put this in your little post. Solo hip hop dancing at a competition should be banned in the United States. It's awful. Awful. Especially a bunch of white kids from Bergen County doing all this. What are you doing? It's terrible. Anyway, I got to see Deej, who played Alphonse. And I went to one to the
How's my guy Deej doing? He doing all right?
Dude. He was actually doing a session. You have no idea what Deej
at Orange Theory?
You have no idea. There's 80 people in that room. He's yelling and screaming at everybody. Dude, he looks like Thibodeau with a minute to go. There's confusion. There's people on rowboats over there, those rowing things. You got people running, lifting weights, and he's yelling at him.
Pick it up, Nancy. Let's go.
Then you look up at the screen, heart rate. Let's go, Nancy, your heart rate. And I looked at him. I had a cup of coffee with a bagel in my hand. I was like, hey, you do this every day? I was like, I could do this for a second.
Multiple times a day.
But yeah, oh my God, I couldn't wait to get out of there. He goes, yeah, but I'm done by noon. I'm like, yeah, but you got here at 5 a.m. You fat fuck. I got some read-throughs for Checked Out, the 624 Productions. Looking forward to that. Beer League, of course, not finished yet. So glad 624 rolled into another production. I feel like Tom Thibodeau is having practice for the Olympic basketball while they're still finishing the playoffs here. And that's it. Don't forget, go to the Pine Tar Bar and Grill for all your playoffs. 121 South Main Street. Drink your sorrow. 609-489-4286. It's the best sports bar in New Jersey. And also Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. She's a therapist. Good people. Love her. Give her a call. All right, Dave, I know you got meetings. Thanks for doing this fine show. And that's about it. So we got Tuesday. Thursday, Friday then, right?
Tuesday, Friday, Knicks. Thursday, Rangers. Right. And then possibly Sunday. We'll see. I don't know, man. By next week, we'll either be talking about both Eastern Conference Finals or no Eastern Conference Finals.
It could. Either way, it'll be all over by the time we do our next show. And well, you know what? If they're getting blown out tonight, I'm texting you. Fuck my rule.
It's fine. If they're getting blown out, it's fine.
Because the house will be quiet. Right. You'll be ready to hang yourself, and I'll be like, Dave,
you probably saw I got a great video of my kids saying, "Let's go Rangers" last
night.
I
loved it. Dude, I loved it.
We were all pumped, and my son from upstairs, the entire I was folding his laundry while I was watching the game, and I hear him, "Dad, let's go Rangers, roar!" Right? Like he's really into it. Blue good, white bad. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, right? And I'm pumped. And then like Stella comes down to say goodnight. She goes, "Did they win?" I said, "No." She literally, I looked like she welled up. I was like, oh shit, I got a fucking problem.
You couldn't wait till the morning to tell her the kid's gonna go to bed with nightmares.
The game was over by 9:30. She was still awake for whatever reason. You should
have told him the game ain't over yet. Terrible parenting right there. But on the video you sent, my favorite part of it is your daughter's all in. She looked well rehearsed, practiced all week, right? Yeah. Miles was kind of like, Miles had the look of like, the fuck does Daddy want me to do now? I'm watching the game with him. Like, what? Like, your daughter was all in. And Miles was like, and then he was like, then he was like, oh wait,
Cowboys season. We'll see.
Then the camera was on him. Let's go Rangers.
Yeah, right.
It was cute and very cute. All right, everybody. God bless.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.